My child's teacher says they're fine, but something just doesn't feel right. Or everyone keeps telling me they'll catch up. Or every child learns at their own pace. If you've ever wondered whether your child actually has a reading problem or if they're just developing at their own pace, then this video is for you. Hi, I'm Chastity. I'm a certified structured literacy clinician and reading therapist. Over the years, I've worked with hundreds of struggling readers. I've seen children who were labeled lazy, children who were told they'd eventually grow out of it, and children who simply needed someone to teach reading differently. My passion is not only teaching kids to read in a way that they can learn, but it's also to help their parents understand what they're seeing so that they can make informed decisions instead of just waiting and hoping. The thing I want you to know is that children do absolutely develop at different rates. Some children learn to read very quickly. Others need more repetition. That by itself isn't necessarily a problem. The goal isn't for every child to read at exactly the same age. There's a difference between a child who is developing more slowly and a child whose brain isn't learning to read the way that we would expect. That's where parents often get confused. Reading is something our brains have to be taught. If a child is getting quality instruction and still isn't making progress, that's information. It doesn't mean they're lazy. It doesn't mean they aren't smart. It means we need to ask more questions. Here's the biggest myth that I hear. Let's just wait and see. Sometimes children do make huge leaps, but many children who struggle continue struggling because nobody changes the instruction. Reading difficulties don't usually disappear just because time passes. They improve because the child receives instruction that's matched to how their brain learns. Waiting often means that the gap gets bigger. Meanwhile, the child starts believing, I'm dumb, I'm bad at reading. And that breaks my heart because it's really just not true. Let's get into the warning signs. What are the warning signs? Here are some things that make me, as a reading therapist, pay attention. Not one sign by itself merits that this child has a reading difficulty, but several together, you need to take notice. If your child guesses at words instead of actually reading them, that's a huge sign. Here's an example. If they see the word horse and they say pony, the meaning is close, right? But they didn't actually read the word. Here's the second sign that I see. They memorize books instead of reading them. Another sign is your child avoids reading. Sign 4, reading homework ends in tears. Sign 5, they know the letters, but they can't blend them together. Sign 6, they can read a word 1 minute and then they just forget it the next. Sign 7, spelling seems impossible. Sign 8, reading is painfully slow. Sign 9, does your child seem exhausted after reading? Sign 10, your gut keeps telling you something isn't right. Here is what doesn't mean that your child has dyslexia. Some things by themselves are completely normal. Mixing up B and D, reading slowly while learning, forgetting a sight word occasionally, needing practice. Every child does those things. It's when these difficulties continue despite good instruction, or when there are several warning signs together. That's when we need to pay closer attention. And this is what I hope you hear today. If your child is struggling, you didn't cause it. It's not your fault. Your child is not lazy. They aren't broken. Their brain simply may need reading to be taught differently.